Good morning, guys.
Good morning. How are you, teacher?
I'm fine. What about you, Yasin?
Fine, good.
Yusuf?
Teacher, we not will don't we will not study in May.
Why?
Yes, we Ghost examine also online botken. Toğuzlarda.
Okay, it's okay. Okay, anyway, if you're good, if you're feeling good, so we can start our lesson. What was our last topic, guys? Did you do your homework?
Monopoly.
Competition.
Yes, competition, right?
Ah.
Today's topic will be about Monopoly. Oh, yes, maybe you're what? You're ready for today's topic also, right?
Yes, maybe.
So in our last lesson, we learned about competition and types of competition or types of market structure, and we divided into two, right? So which kind of competition, you know? Which kind of market structure do you know?
Price and non-price.
Price and non-price, okay. No, this is like features. What about market structure? Which kind of market structure do you know?
Market. Okay.
Yes. Which kind of market structure you learned?
Non-price. Yes.
No. This is factors. Factors affecting to what? Affecting to competition. But what about market structure? We learned two type. We learned one of them.
Teacher.
Yes.
Perfect competition autonomy.
Okay, so we learned about perfect competition, right? And today we are gonna talk about what? Monopoly.
Monopoly.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, you can.
In a perfectly competitive market, price equals a marginal cost, and firms earn an economic profit of zero. In a monopoly, the price is set above marginal cost, and the firm earns a positive economic profit. Perfect competition produces an equilibrium in which the price and quantity of a good is economically efficient.
Okay. So, did you send all your homeworks?
Yes, I said.
Yes, I got Yasin's homework. What about Milan and Yusuf Samuel? I got Sim's homework also, but I didn't get from you. I will wait today. Okay. Please send your homeworks. Now let's start our new topic.
Monopoly.
Okay. Today our topic will be about Monopoly. Can you see this screen? Can you see this presentation? Okay.
Yes.
Start it. So monopoly. Here is a definition of monopoly. So monopoly refers to a market where there is a single seller and many buyers, and in the pure case, entry is blockaded. An industry structure in which a single seller of a product is no close substitute serves as the entire market, and monopolies set both price and quantity. And monopolies have no supply curve. And monopoly exists if only one firm supplies the whole market. Please, can you mute your sound, guys? Because it's not clear when I'm speaking. Yusuf and Yasin, can you? Okay, thank you. The word monopoly comes from the Greek language, and with monos meaning one and polein meaning to sell. Hence, monopoly can be defined as a market structure where is only one supplier of a good or service, okay? And here are the features of monopoly, and they are as follows. Here, a large number of buyers and one seller, product without close substitutes, perfect knowledge and barriers to entry, and no government intervention. So here, we can see the more detailed version of the features of monopoly. So single supplier, what does it mean? It means what, as its name suggests, a monopolist is the sole supplier of a product in a given market, and this is due to high barriers to entry, and which result in a lack of substitutes. Right? Okay. Next one is price maker or price setter. The monopolist has significant market power, controlling enough of the market supply that it can charge higher prices yet produce lower output than would be the case if it faced real competition. Imperfect knowledge. A monopolist is able to protect its prestigious position because customers and rivals have imperfect knowledge, partly as a result of the monopolist's ability to protect its trade secrets. High barriers to entry. A monopolist can remain so only if in the long run they are trying high barriers to entry. These obstacles effectively prevent other firms from entering the market. For example, it includes economies of scale of existing firms, ownership of essential resources, the existence of intellectual property rights, namely patents, trademarks, and copyrights, and advertising expenditure and legal barriers to entry. Source of monopoly power, or in other words, what advantage of monopoly power we can say? Natural, economies of scale and excess capacity, economies of scope and cost complementarities, capital requirements and sales and distribution networks, differentiated products and brand loyalty, created patents and other legal barriers like license, it can be what? Tying and exclusive contracts, collusion, test or open, it can be, and entry limit pricing, predatory pricing illegal. Okay, and now what? Here are advantages of monopoly. Is a monopolist control market supply. They operate on a large scale, thus benefiting from economies of scale. And monopolists have the financial resources to invest in innovation. So in this case, how it can affect it? Next one is some monopolists can eliminate wasteful competition, right? Okay, so these are the advantages of monopoly. For example, how it can eliminate wasteful competition, guys. For example, let me give some examples. For example, it makes more economic sense to have one monopoly supplier of postal services in a town, state, or country rather than allowing private sector firms to compete to provide such services. This is because profit-seeking firms may not have much of a financial incentive to provide services to remote areas of the country, and a single provider can gain huge economies of scale. What about here? So monopolists have the financial resources to invest in innovation. So, for example, research and development expenditure can help to generate new ideas, products, and production processes, right? For example, Apple's innovative products such as iPhone and iPad have made the company the most valuable business on the planet, right? Because what? They can invest huge amount of money in innovation. Now here are the disadvantages of monopoly. So private sector monopolies can be inefficient in terms of resource allocation. High barriers to entry prevent new firms from entering the market. This limits the degree of competition also. And there are no substitutes for the products supplied by monopolists, or less choice of product. And imperfect knowledge. about prices and products means that consumers may not necessarily make rational choices. And monopolists may have less incentive to innovate than firms in competitive markets. Why? Why it can happen? Because usually the lack of competitive pressures means that monopolists can become complacent, as there is no need to be worried about competition rather than focus on innovations to ensure their survival, right? And usually innovation is a commercial exploitation of an invention. So if there will be monopolists, so that they may see that they don't need for new ideas. In our last lesson, we learned about perfect competition, right? So here, what we can compare them, advantages and differences, okay? In perfect competition, there are many buyers and many sellers, right? And in monopoly, there's only one seller or limited seller, okay? And many perfect substitutes in perfect competition. I gave example of rice, right? I gave example of rice, flour, for example. And in monopoly, no closest substitutes. Here what? Price determined by market, not individual sellers. That's why what? Face perfect elastic demand. And in perfect competition, they're usually what? The firms are usually price takers, right? Price takers. And in monopoly, price determined by only seller face downward sloping demand. It means what? In monopoly, they are usually price makers. Did you understand the difference between price makers and price takers?
Yes, we understand you.
Okay, please, yes, and stop walking.
Okay.
So what is the meaning of price takers and what's the meaning of price makers? How it can differ from each other? Okay, Yasin, Milan, Yusuf, Samuel.
Repeat your question, sir. Teacher.
The difference between price takers and price makers.
Price makers, yeah?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay, price makers. A price maker is an entity such as a firm.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And with a monopoly gives it power to the price. It charges as the good it produces does not have perfect subsidies.
What you're talking about? So when we talk about price maker, it means
yeah,
what?
we talk about price maker.
It means that what you're talking about, Yasin. You're just reading. You're just reading my presentation. Can you explain by your own words?
Own.
Yes, you can just explain by your own words.
Okay.
Yusuf, do you have an idea? Did you understand today's topic, guys?
Okay.
When we talk about...
May I explain in Russian?
Okay, Yasin, please explain.
Производитель цен – это субъект, такой как фирма с монополией, которая дает ему возможность влиять на цену, которую он взимает, поскольку товар, который он производит, не имеет совершенных знаменитостей.
Okay.
That's all?
Let's continue. So, in other words, what when we talk about price, it is what price setter, or what the price are determined by sellers, not by demand. Here, what? Here you can see the graph of monopoly price and competitive price. A stronger one. Here, what monopoly and perfect competition is compared with the graphs. So, look at this first picture. Here, it shows a perfect competitive industry, and it produces at a point where industry demand D and interest by S intersect. The quantity produced by the industry is Q, and what? Here you can see it. Wait. My computer is not working. Sorry. Can you hear me, guys?
We can't listening you. Your voice.
What? The price target is P, and consumer surplus is a triangle.
Your voice not.
And what about next? It was easy for people as the marginal revenue and the total marginal cost and the revenue against scalable images. The price charted for Q is P. That's not much more than the product quantity indicates. And so much P and so the rate of in the area. But here, so I would only tell the and competition
Teacher, we can't hear you.
Yusuf? Yusuf? Oh,
Ne?
Handaysın? Insan.
Yaxşı. Düzü.
Teacher, your voice very bad now.
Maybe you have problem with internet, we can't
Maybe
hear you.
we will
Yes.
maybe we will finish the lesson.